Hi everybody, it's me again, Dr. Darya Ghafourpour. Welcome to Friday Night Live. Sorry I'm a few minutes later than what I was thinking. I thought I'd title this one Stressed Much? So for me it's at the end of my day on Friday afternoon. It works out better for me to do it, at least so far on Fridays, because at least I know that there's not going to be a patient waiting for me. I don't have to hurry up and eat my lunch and make sure I rest a little bit before my after lunch patient, and I'm just too booked during the day to be able to do this during the weekday, either in the morning or in the afternoon. So here I am at the end of Friday, and it's, my team has left the building, and it seems that the office is under control. We'll be ready for Monday, and meanwhile I'm messaging people, my friends, going, any ideas? What can I do for my topic tonight? And so a couple of thoughts came through that were relating with stress. So there's a little bit of stress there when I've decided to go live with you and not quite know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. So what's the process of dealing with stress, and what's my process with dealing with stress? And maybe that's something that can help you out, because as you may know, stress can have a real detrimental effect on your body. Now, it can drive you forward too. It can drive you forward in a positive way. When we feel under pressure, a lot of times that's when we can perform our best. Maybe procrastinators can relate with this. Speaking of procrastination, that's something that I seem to know well throughout my lifetime. And boy, I can think back to when I was a kid, and I would kind of wait till the last minute to get a book report done, or to study for a test. And yet I did very well growing up and in school. And I believe that part of that has to do with the pressure that stress posed on me. And that's probably how I'm doing pretty decently right now too, is that there's enough stress that's going to keep me going. You get that adrenaline pumping, and you have to perform, you have to do something, and then it kicks you forward. And so in my case, like with this evening, or if there's any other circumstance where I feel like I'm not quite sure how something is going to go, but I'll do my best to, back to previous topics, feel as grounded as I can. And that might mean, again, taking a few grounding breaths and just stepping away from the subject at hand. So when we can let something go, so to speak, that means stop obsessing about it. That means just lay low a bit, stop the wheels from turning so much in your mind about, trying to decide what is it that you're going to do about this particular circumstance. What is it that your topic of discussion is going to be? How is your lecture going to go? Whatever it is that you're considering, when you can let it go, just table it, as they say. Distract yourself. Think about something different. Occupy yourself with a different activity. And you pull your energy away from whatever it is that you've been stirred up about. And hi Debbie, thanks for joining, good to see you here. That really helps me out, and I found that it helps a lot of people out too. You might consider just taking a walk around the building, let's say, just to shake off the energy, shake off just being so focused on something. And you're spinning your wheels, you're not really going anyplace. You're probably not doing yourself very much good either. You're working yourself up internally, and a lot of times it's just not necessary. We get into these habits sometimes, and I'm hoping that maybe I can help snap you out of some of those habits so that you feel like you can move forward in your life. I'm a big proponent of that, moving forward. I think that when we get too stuck in our past and too worried about our future, we can't go anyplace. Again, speaking of being in the present, that takes us out of the present. If we're worrying about the future, or if we are regretful of our past, or we keep thinking that we could have done something differently, well, you can't change it, right? And so if you're going to keep on spinning your mental wheels over that, you're going to generate stress in your body, too much stress, the kind that can make you feel sick, or cause pain in your body. These sorts of things that in large part can be avoidable. So that was one idea. Take a short walk, get some fresh air. Do a little stretching, maybe do some yoga exercises. If you can't walk around the block, if you're not mobile, maybe you can move some other part of your body. Just do some sort of supposed jogging, right? Just to pull you away from what you're doing. One thing that I'll do with my patients is, and I can feel that they're stressed, they're doing a good job of trying to cover it up. But I know that a lot of people feel like, I don't really want to go to the dentist, and yet here I am, so let's make the most of it. And I like to do my best to help coach them through that. And so let's say that it's the ever dreaded injection, right? Well, a lot of us have developed some really great techniques to help make that as comfortable as possible, as easy as possible. And one of the tips that I've used for a long time, I'll kind of guide my patients towards wiggle your toes. What does that do? And then just taking nice, easy breaths, steady breaths. So if you're working yourself up into a frenzy, that's not good physically for the body, and you're depleting your brain of much needed oxygen. You're not going to perform so well. So drop your shoulders, maybe stretch your neck a little bit. But the wiggling the toes is a really great trick, because it takes your mind off of what's going on here and directs it to a different part of the world. In this case, the toes of your body. Well, it could be anything. You could wiggle your fingers, You could think about that beach where, you love to just be lying out in the sun. Basically what you're doing is you're distracting yourself. It's pulling you away from one reality, and you're creating a different reality for yourself. And it works. And people will be amazed, like, wow, that really wasn't so bad. Right. Because things often aren't really so bad, not as bad as we make them out to be. So these are some things that I've learned along the way, and I hope that can serve as a reminder to you that you can shift your reality, and you can pull yourself out of what you're perceiving to be a stressful situation and find out that you really are in control of what's going on around you. You are in control of your immediate surroundings. You are in control of your thoughts. And what a big difference that can make when you're in control of your thoughts. Again, I'll speak of self-talk. A lot of us can really speak badly towards ourselves in ways that we wouldn't even speak that way to anybody else. But what makes it okay to speak to ourselves about that? Well, let's change our realities. Let's speak differently to ourselves. Let's give us a pat on the back of encouragement. Let's find ways of talking ourselves into a happier reality, an easier reality. There's too many things going on externally in our world that are just really frenzied and irrational. And what we can do to affect the outer world is we can have control over our inner world, and therefore our immediate surroundings. And imagine what kind of an impact that can have when we are in control and can positively impact those around us, just one interaction at a time. One interaction after another interaction after another interaction. And what does that have? A ripple out effect. So then those people whose lives you've just touched are going to be able to spread that positivity, and little by little it just trickles out. And that strange, odd, irrational reality for some people out there ends up not even showing its face in your world. Or if it does so in such a minimal way that it's not going to impact your well-being. So I hope that you will make some sense from what I'm saying and join me in my own revolution, right? Let's create a revolution of positivity here, where we don't have to act out and react towards things that seem like they're awful. We can control how we feel inside and shift our reality so that we can create an easier place, right? I don't even go from a place of feeling stress to feeling more neutral, like, okay, I can handle this, I can deal with this. Not so bad, that's not so bad. you know, to a place where you might find some light in the world or some in your circumstance. You might find something good going on. And then you start recognizing that, oh wow, I did that. I brought my attention towards something good that's going on. Oh, hey, look at that. There's something else. There's someone who's just sending me a smile, you know, waving from another car or something randomly, right? Things like that happen. And then it'll trickle out, and little by little you can just create a much happier world for yourself. And so that's my goal. That's what I aim to do in my own personal life, and I hope that I can encourage you and influence you to do. Sorry about that. It seems like my connection broke, but I think that I'm back. And in any case, it's probably about time to wrap it up for this evening. Thanks so much for joining me, and leave a comment below. Go to my YouTube page and give a thumbs up and comment there too. If you haven't already liked my like page here on Facebook, please do so, and share this video or share my page if you think that there are other people who can benefit and whose lives can be uplifted. Really appreciate that, and hope you have a fantastic evening, morning, afternoon, wherever in the world that you are, and look forward to seeing you next week. All right, take care. Bye, folks.